Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Money Monday. Man, these weeks go by fast. Holy macaroni. It's Brendan here, Dad Planet. Welcome. If you're brand new, it is nice to see you for the first time. If you are old, always a pleasure having you. You know how this goes. Every single Monday, we just pull monster bolos from the eBay catalog, most of which have sold within the last 72 hours, a lot that have sold just today only. And we're going to take care of some housekeeping here. As usual, if you have a bolo that makes sense for Money Monday, you want me to feature it, shoot me an email at dadplanetofficial@gmail.com. If it looks good and it makes sense, I'll feature you, give you a shout out on the segment, and let's get into the bolos. So there's a doll on the screen, Lynn Roach, okay? Wooden doll, wooden body, has a very, very distinct face. Now the reason this is featured, not only because it sold for $675 and her dolls are bolos, is also, how many times have you passed up all of those porcelain dolls in the thrift stores because they just all look generic and you're tired of seeing them and none of them have any value? Well, this can get mixed into that very, very easily. And the nice thing about these dolls is the facial features have sort of a distinct look to them. So now you have something to look for. Now I have something to look for when I go into the thrift stores because this is certainly a bolo. So here we go. If you take a look at the first one, that's the one we just featured, but the next one, 10 bids, $315. One after that, best offer of $675. But if you look at the facial expressions, they're all kind of similar here. So what does this one say? Heidi, there's her. This one looks almost exactly the same as that, maybe just a different outfit. But the facial features can be recognizable, okay? So train your eye to look for that when you're in the stores. $600, $500, $400 for a doll that everyone else is going to pass up. The thrift store is not going to catch it. To me, that's an amazing bolo. This is the type of stuff you want to keep your eye out for, and we'll move on to the next one. Okay, now let's talk about buyers. Let's talk about the quintessential buyer, right? The one we all want. If you feel like you're slow, your business is slow, and you want to blame it on something like, oh my God, we're in an election year. Oh, the pandemic is going on. Everybody's afraid to spend money. That is a bunch of nonsense. You just haven't found the right buyers buying things that you should be selling. This is one of those items that's really, really rare, but this is the kind of buyer you want. Somebody that bid this up to $640. It is a monster cereal store display from the 70s. Blueberry, Frankenberry, Count Chocula. I mean, come on. This is a one-of-a-kind item, but that's the buyer every one of us should be looking for. The money doesn't matter. I saw something unique. I had to have it. I'll pay any price, right? That's the one we want. Now, imagine if all 10 of these bolos featured on today's show were in your inventory, right? You certainly wouldn't be complaining about store being slow, I'm not making any sales, life is hard, everybody's scared to spend money. Nonsense. Just find the right stuff, find the right buyer, and boom, you get a sale like this. This is super one of a kind, and of course it's timely because we're in Halloween season. It's October for sure, but they just don't come around that often. And yeah, this is the buyer you really want to focus on here. So super cool store display. Probably never see something like this again. Awesome sale. We'll move on to the next one. All right, Brendan, why are you featuring a $5,000 60-quart mixer from Hobart that probably weighs 1,000 pounds? There's a few reasons why this is in this segment here. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to it. A, we're in a pandemic, right? A lot of stores closing down, lots of restaurants closing down. Where you're going to end up finding this item is Craigslist, okay? So before it hits the liquidators, okay, or before it hits like the estate companies that come in and liquidate all of the assets and hold the auctions and sell all of the stuff to other restaurateurs, these unique items will turn up on Craigslist, maybe Facebook Marketplace, but certainly Craigslist for sure. It's where I see them. So there's A, okay, but B, if you look, the seller has $450 to have this shipped. What they likely did was pick a service like UShip, USHIP.com, and had a third-party company bid for the right to ship this on your behalf, right? And so they'll do all of the shipping and all of the handling as well. You just got to get it home in your storage unit or wherever it is you're keeping all of your used items in your inventory, and then they will handle it from there. So when you think about a big bulky item like this, it really isn't that hard to get it from point A to point B and get it from seller to buyer, okay? And if you didn't think these things were a BOLO, they're definitely a BOLO. Here's the one right here for $5,000. Here's another one for $3,000. Here's one that looks like it was chewed up and regurgitated for $840. Another one, $7,000, $5,000. Like, this is a BOLO for sure, but they're all using third-party shipping services, so you don't have to touch any of that, and I strongly suggest you don't when you're shipping an item like this, because it is super, super freight. But it's a BOLO, okay? Check Craigslist for restaurants going out of business. Unfortunately, right, there are industries and individuals that will benefit from those things. Resellers is a group that benefits from that. So while it's sad to see the business close, that's your opportunity to go in and make a little bit of money on certain items such as this. So go do the thing, check Craigslist. You might find these turned up and you might make good money on that. So we'll move on to the next one. All right, a set of 6 plush puppies. It's amazing, right? Vintage 101 Dalmatians from Mattel/Disney. All 6 puppies. I don't know. Is there only 6 that they feature in the show? I don't know. It's been a minute, and my daughters haven't caught on to the Dalmatians yet. So 6 featured. The seller lists that there are some Sharpie marks on the collar, and some of the plush dolls might have a little bit of damage, and it was still 54 bids, bid up to almost $700. This is a very unique sale. It is a one-of-a-kind sale, so you will not see any comparables in this manner. Here's a picture of the tag, very unassuming. Old, cute. Somebody had the money, somebody spent the money. Again, this is the type of buyer you want. Money doesn't matter. I just have to have the item. I don't care how I get it or what the item costs. It doesn't matter, right? Quintessential buyer. These are the items you want to sell. That is an amazing sale. 101 Dalmatians. We're going to move on to the next one. Okay, have you seen my Halloween BOLO video? If you haven't seen that video, I will kindly link it in the description, and I suggest you take a look at it because Love, Pain, and Stitches is one of the brands that is featured in that video. Now, very, very limited release on all of their bags, right? And they're kind of Halloween, pumpkin related, like spooky, that type of buyer, this type of time of year. But they because most of the bags are handmade, they're not mass produced, they sell insanely fast. And when they hit the resale market, they double, triple, quadruple in value super, super quick. Okay, so this bag here, nothing on the back, just the face on the front, glitter, black glitter with purple, hand stitched, bid up to $800. It's a BOLO. Here's one that sold today, $400. Here's another one, 167 was bid up to, 175, 200. I mean, they go even higher than what you're looking at right here. So definitely a BOLO. Again, I'll link that video in the description, and I suggest you take a look at that. But Love, Pain, and Stitches, super, super BOLO. Again, another timely sale. We'll move on to the next one. All right, now, Nike shoes, okay? There's a couple things at play here that you need to pay attention to. One, this is an extremely well-worn pair of Nikes that no one in the shop Goodwills of the world or the whoever's working in the online department at the thrift stores is going to catch. No one's going to catch this. If you take a look at the interior, like, these are worn, really, really worn shoes. And they're old. This is like 80s. It says vintage 70s. This may even be from the 70s, okay? It's highly unlikely that you'll find like an identical pair, but these do turn up, okay? So A, all the thrift stores are gonna miss out on this shoe, okay? B, if you look at the Nike swoosh, the blazer style of Nike, the swoosh is a little bit fatter, like in the crescent moon area, than today's 2020 Nike logo. So a lot of people might think that this is a fake or inauthentic. It's not. It's just the way the Nike blazer style swoosh looks on the Nike shoe. So pick this up for $3 or $4 when it's in the store, and then flip it for $600. That is an insane price. I wonder if there's a picture of the soles. The soles look good. I mean, there's wear, but there's a little bit of tread left for sure. Another picture of the interior. Old and authentic. This is real Nike right here. $600. No one's going to catch this. Now you will, because you have the knowledge. Amazing stuff. Let's move on to the next one. All right, Pearl Jam. So we talk a lot about vintage t-shirts that are selling for crazy money right now. We talk a lot about movie t-shirts selling for crazy money right now. What we're missing is the posters. The posters, especially the band posters, selling for insane amounts of money. Pearl Jam is no exception. This is from 2011, Sao Paulo. Chuck Sperry is the artist on this. There is a picture of his signature right there. Now, the interesting thing about this listing here is had a little bit of water damage. The seller disclosed that. That didn't matter. It still sold for 1,900 bucks. Only 100 of them made. That's insane. Let's move on to the rest of them. You know, anything Pearl Jam, Sao Paulo. This one here, 200 bucks. Eddie Vedder with a skateboard. Here's the same one as the one at top, 1,400. Another one here, 1,455. Huge bolo right there. Keep your eye out for the movie posters for sure, but the band posters absolutely, especially a band like Pearl Jam. You'll see a lot of, you know, Dave Matthews. Like the list goes on. I mean, I can name a ton of them, but like the big dollar amount bands, mid 90s grunge. I mean, for sure, Pearl Jam killing it. Great bolo. We'll move on to the next one. All right, so thermometers. I don't know if the rules have changed. I don't know exactly what the rules are shipping wise, but I don't know that you're allowed to ship USPS mercury. Maybe the rules have changed. I'm not really sure. So I'm not sure how these people are shipping thermometers. You may have to school me on that one. But this one was super rare. It looks like one of the original bottles with the orange color. Sold for $1,350. These thermometers, like the soda pop thermometers, definitely BOLO. Coke, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, all of them. Here's some of the Orange Crush ones right there. So here's ours at the top, best offer. Maybe it settled in at around $1,200. Here's another one that was green that sold for about 500 bucks. Here's a poster. I don't know if this is it says thermometer sign. 75. Here's another one. That's the same one as we see up here, although the color looks a little bit different. See, pictures make a difference, ladies and gentlemen. 500 bucks. If this is the same one, okay, so it's not exactly the same one. It's a different color, but your pictures matter. Anyway, 200 bucks here, 400, although I don't think this is Orange Crush. The thermometers are a bolo for sure. Again, this is the buyer you want. It's the theme for this one on Money Monday. Let's move on to the next one. So you've got on one side of the fence North Face, and on the other side of the fence Supreme. Supreme is like a streetwear brand, and you know North Face is North Face. Every quarter they do one or two collaborations where their logos and their paraphernalia are intertwined on the same garment. So you see right here North Face and then the Supreme logo right beneath it. Their collaborations are very limited edition. Hype beasts go after this stuff. The streetwear kids, they love it, and it always sells out fast. The appreciation value for the Supreme North Face collaborations is through the roof. Okay, so this garment at retail value was probably priced at about 500 bucks is what they released it at. It is appreciated to $3,200. That is insane. So it's the North Face Supreme City Summit City Series jacket. It looks like it was from maybe SS08. I feel like it's summer of 08. And I could be wrong on that. Sometimes I get their codes mixed up. But you can see Supreme down the sleeve here. It has like the cityscape on the front of it. It's a cool garment for sure. $3,200, ladies and gentlemen. Supreme North Face, like it might be hard to get, but look for it. And you know, again, you have to worry about fakes too, because this is one of the collaborations that is faked. So you have to be careful. But when you find it and it's authentic, you are going to get paid for sure. Check places like grail.com, stockx.com if you want to do a little bit more research on that, because those are the marketplaces that it generally hits in addition to eBay. Garment here for $1,500. Here's with the mountains in the background, $2,500. Yeah, man, oh man, oh man. Wouldn't that make your holidays nice to get a sale like that? That is crazy. Supreme North Face, keep your eye out for it. Major bolo, and we're going to move on to the next one, which is a very unassuming one. But huge money. So 1959 vintage Knight in Armor lunchbox and thermos combination. This had 40 bids. It was bid up to $1,251. Condition wise, it looks stellar for being as old as it is. I mean, you know, we're talking 60 years old at this point. That looks fantastic. This is a bolo, very, very rare. You know, they're actually, if you look at the solds here, these sold within 3 minutes of each other. This one sold for $1,251, and this one sold for $625. I didn't click on this listing. It says it has the thermos as well, even though thermos is spelled wrong. I don't know what happened there. Here's one that also had the thermos display as well for $350. Yeah, I mean, $1,300 for a lunchbox, and here I am, like, you know, impressed with my Indiana Jones Temple of Doom vintage lunch pail that I have in my inventory right now, listed for $30. But you know, whatever. Hey, what can I tell you, ladies and gentlemen? That's it. That's all I got for you. 10 bolos. dadplanetofficial@gmail.com. If you want to be featured on the show, make sure you are subscribed. If you want to see more content like this, that's the bell notification icon. Leave me a like if you liked what you saw. Leave me a comment if you want to talk shop. And that's it. I am out of here. I'll see you in the next video.